Hello YouTube, welcome to another one of my Duel Links videos, and today I'm finally playing Triamids, and I still don't have the most optimal build. As you can see, I'm still missing one Triamid Master and also a Triamid Cruiser. There's like 20 packs left in the box, and look at this, 0 gems. I've exhausted every time I hit 50 gems. I go and I try to open a pack. Doesn't want to drop, so we had to add some cheese to it because of that. But this deck is really fun. It's actually not as big brain as I thought. Once you start playing it, it looks very intimidating at first because of all the effects you can activate and all the different cards you can use. But once you kind of break it down, it's actually pretty simple. So for the monster lineup, we have 2 Triamid Masters. Now all Triamid monsters have the same effect, which says, once per turn during your opponent's turn, you can target one Triamid field spell card in your field zone, send it to the graveyard, and if you do, activate one Triamid field spell from your deck with a different name. This is a quick effect. So all that text you can eliminate and just know that all 3 monsters do that thing. And then they each have their unique effects. Triamid Master, once per turn you send one face-up Triamid card you control to the graveyard. Then target one set card on the field, destroy it. Triamid Hunter is going to give you an additional normal summon of a rock type monster, which is good, but you have to control a field spell card. And Triamid Dancer, which as you can see I'm running 3 of. A lot of people don't, but I actually decided to kind of focus my build around Dancer because of a certain card I'm using. It says once per turn you can target one Triamid card in your graveyard, shuffle it into the deck, and if you do, all rock type monsters you control gain 500 attack and defense. That's a permanent effect, so if you're able to loop it more than once, you get to have a pretty big monster, whether it's a big defense or big attack. So I really like this card, that's why we're running 3 of. The field spells, they each have very different effects. Triamid Cruiser, each time a rock type monster is normal summon, you gain 500 life. That's more than once per turn. So if you have your Hunter, you can activate this an additional time when you normal summon for the second time. You can draw 1 card, then discard 1 card, and when this face-up card leaves the field, you get to search a monster. So this one you gain life, draw, search a monster. This one it gives your monsters attack and it makes them Armades. That's the simplest way to think about it. Your opponent cannot activate effects if they're battling one of your Triamid monsters. So it's really good. It's probably the best field spell out of the 3, honestly. It's the one I go to the most because just being able to attack without having to worry about your opponent's effects, period, it's so good. And then we have Triamid Fortress, 500 defense, so this one 500 attack, this one 500 defense. This one protects during battle, this protects from card effects. It's a pretty simple way of thinking about it. So 2, because I only have 2, 3 and 3, pretty standard. 2 Triamid Pulse. We've had this card for a while. It was used in Magnets a lot. It says once per turn you can banish 2 cards from your graveyard, any combination of rock type monsters or field spell cards. Then activate one of these effects. Target one other face-up card on the field and destroy it. Target 1 rock type's monster in your graveyard, special summon it in defense mode. Target up to 3 field spell cards in your graveyard, shuffle them into your deck, then draw 1 card. This last effect I never used. Most of the time you want to disrupt your opponent's play, so you're going to be destroying a face-up card on the field. Sometimes you will special summon something like a Dancer on your opponent's turn and then use Dancer's effect to get another field spell out. But that's basically the idea of the deck. You want to cycle your field spells so you can have cards for Triamid Pulse, destroy your opponent's card, and then have a safety blanket, whether it's King Golem when you attack or Fortress for your monsters to not be destroyed by card effect. But what I'm focusing on is the Triamid King Golem. Making your monsters Armades, it's insane. And that's why I'm running this card. Concentrating Current, which is the cheese I'm adding to the deck. says target one face-up monster you control. It gains attack equal to its current defense until the end of this turn. Other monsters you control cannot attack during the turn you activate this card. So when you combine Concentrating Current with Triamid Dancer, every Triamid Dancer effect, it's an extra 1000 attack you're going to gain with Concentrating Current. So it's very easy to just stack the effect a couple times and then swing over a monster. Your opponent can't do anything because you're battling and you have a King Golem. If you activate this, you get ridiculous amounts of attack and just win the game. For the skill, we're using Field Exchange. It's basically a switcheroo, but you can send more than one card, which is really good. Can be used if your life points are at 3000 or below. Return up to 2 cards, including at least one field spell card from your hand to the bottom of your deck, then draw the same number of cards as you return. I didn't use the skill a lot, but it did come clutch when I had to use it. Especially once my deck it's real thinned out and I'm trying to draw into Concentrating Current or Triamid Pulse. Being able to shuffle 2 back and then, you know, have that additional chance to draw into the cards is pretty good. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the deck. Like I said, it looks pretty overwhelming at first, but once you start using it and you just recognize the cards, it's pretty simple. It's not as heavy control wise as, you know, your regular build with 3 masters, 3 pulse, 3 of all the field spells, but it still works, and I like the Concentrating Current cheese. So here we're going up against our mages. Not a crazy good opening for them. We're just gonna activate King Golem. That's gonna trigger, we pop the face down. Oh, I forgot to mention King Golems and the Pyramids effect. So when this leaves the field, face up card leaves the field and goes to the graveyard, you get to special summon a Triamid monster. When the Fortress one leaves, you get to add a monster from your graveyard to your hand. So we're gonna special summon the Hunter, activate a second King Golem, and I'll have to set my Concentrating Current. I didn't have lethal here because of the life points he gained through Child's Play. So during his end phase, we're gonna cycle both field spells, end with a King Golem, and just pick up a Dancer so we can boost ourselves even to greater attacks. That's gonna send back Concentrating Current. So look at this, I have double Concentrating Current, and it doesn't matter which monster you use it on, because all their stats match each other when combined. So as you can see, this is 4000, this is 4000, that's 4000, which is kind of cool. Double Concentrating Current over a Armage, and look at all that damage. 42 to the face. Even if I hadn't damaged them the turn prior, that was still lethal, which is crazy. And that was off of only one Dancer effect. Like I said, once you're able to pull the effect off multiple times, you just get ridiculous attacks. It's also pretty easy to just like sit on a Dancer that's in defense position with your field spell that protects it from being destroyed by card effect, and, you know, pretty much dare your opponent to out your Dancer. So dual standby, this is the rock control, the spirit rock thingy control deck. I'm gonna activate a cruiser, normal summon, so we can draw and discard. Activate a King Golem. King Golem is gonna let me search. It's going to send this to the graveyard, letting me search for a monster. Unfortunately, he does have bad aim, so my master is going to get destroyed. But that's fine. We're still gonna activate the Fortress, and we're doing this so that our King Golem hits the graveyard and lets us special summon the Dancer. We're gonna summon the Dancer, activate the effect. Oh, I didn't activate the effect actually, because I have the Concentrating Current, and that's a 3000 attack beater. So he pretty much suicides into it. I can't activate any effects. That's why I didn't activate the effect. Not because I didn't want to, but the Amano Iwato stops me. So we're just gonna have to use our second current. Now our effects are live. Immediately we're gonna get a King Golem in the field. The Fortress going to the grave. It's also gonna let me get a master back to my hand. He tries to offerings my card. All I have to do is put another Fortress on the field, and then he can be destroyed by card effect. And that's pretty much the game. He destroys my Dancer, but I mean my lives are in no way, shape, or form being threatened. It's gonna destroy the King Golem. That's gonna let me special summon a second Master and take the win. Yeah, so both bad aims were actually quite disruptive right there, but luckily at that point it didn't matter too much. And this was probably my favorite duel. It's a very clutch comeback. So many things had to go right for this to work, and they all did. So you get one beautiful replay out of that. We're going to go second against Ultra Athletes. So first thing that had to go right, him not having the field spell. That played a huge role because he's forced to just beat down with Mighty Slugger, which is definitely a threat because I can't activate anything if he attacks. So I'm just going to summon Master. I felt that delay on the summon, and I figured this was a penalty box, so I didn't want to give him his field spell. I was very surprised to find out later what it is. So he goes for the beatdown. We're just gonna get, thin the deck out. I wanted to get the Cruiser on the field so that I can try to draw some more cards. We pick up a Hunter, and now we see that he's sitting on a Floodgate. So I was kind of confused that he didn't just Floodgate the Master, and also a little bit disappointed that I didn't destroy this. But had I destroyed it, I would have been able to cycle and get another field spell out. So we don't get an additional summon, we just draw on this card. I'm just hoping he can't kill me right here. I don't know why he didn't just attack with the midfielder, because that would have been lethal. I only have 1100 defense, and instead he gives me another chance at life. We survive with 100 life, and this life point gain ends up winning the game for me. We're gonna gain 500 there, draw into a fortress, and then we're just gonna send the fortress to the graveyard. Not special summon, but normal summon a Master with a additional summon so that we can pop the back row. He decides to Floodgate the Master, not the Hunter. So again, he would have won had he just summoned Floodgated the Hunter, because I wouldn't have been able to gain this life that is going to keep me alive the following turn. So I'm gonna King Golem. Cruiser is going to let me search for a Dancer, and then I'm gonna activate the other Cruiser so that I can special summon the Dancer I just searched, and then use Dancer's effect to put him at 1900. That way he does not have lethal if he attacks over my Hunter, and I also have a 2400 defense monster that he's not gonna be able to get over once I activate a fortress from the deck. So here all I cared about was protecting my Dancer, because Cruiser is gonna let me search a second one, and then we have the Hunter at 1900. With one beatdown, it's not gonna be lethal. So we survive this attack. Use Dancer's effect to get another King Golem on the field. This is gonna let me add a Master. And here we get a field spell, which is really clutch. I could have activated my Dancer's effect right here, but first I'm using my field exchange because I need to get my Pulse or my Concentrating Current. I actually get both, which is amazing, but the Pulse is not even needed anymore. I'm gonna activate double Dancer effect. Look how beefy I got. He can't I'm at 2600 with 3400 defense. He can't activate anything because of my King Golem. So all I have to do is use my Concentrating Current, hit him for 4800 over the midfielder, and we get the win. Clutch comeback, but he did misplay a lot, I will say that. But hey, they're human. Alright, we got 2 more duels. This video is going to be a little long, but if you're not familiar with the archetype, I feel like you'll appreciate the detail, the thought process. Alright, so we're going up against 6 Samurais. 1 back row. I expected this to be a 6 style, but there was no delay on my summon, so I'm like, alright, let's just go ahead and destroy that. We destroy a wall of disruption, which is good. I'm gonna activate King Golem twice so that one of them gets sent to the grave and I get the special summon my Dancer. Activate Dancer's effect. Put her at 1600 and my Master at 28, which is bigger than Xian. That's why I did this Dancer play. 6M United, Dojo, Kisan. He's actually going to get a Xian with the Fuma. But the cool thing is that once he attacks, because of my King Golem, he can negate the Triamid Pulse. If he were to, I'm gonna try to destroy the Xian right here. If he protects with Fuma, he doesn't get a monster. So he's actually pretty smart here and protects with the Kizaru in the graveyard instead. So we're gonna cycle the field spells real quick. That way we have enough field spells to use my pulse during my turn. But Fortress is gonna let me add Dancer back, and that's pretty much all we need since we picked up Concentrating Current yet again. So look at this. Look how beefy this is. 3300, and we're about to gain an extra 1700 attack. Put him at 5000 exact lethal. Sorry, 1000 over lethal against the Xian, and because of my King Golem, he's not able to negate the Concentrating Current. It's so good, man. Like you can't do anything. This deck is very weak against Cosmic Cyclone though, because they can get rid of your field spells, but more importantly, they can get rid of your pulse. And especially in this version, since I'm only running the 2, once they get rid of the initial one, it's gonna be really hard for me to get a second one. Pretty good starting hand. Cruiser with a Master. Draw 1, discard a King Golem. So he's gonna use Cosmic Cyclone. I'm gonna activate my Concentrating Current, and this actually makes him go into Dangerous in defense position, which is his first mistake, since he can try to protect Dangerous with his effect, but the effect only boosts the attack, not the defense. So that's why we search for Dancer. We're gonna send Dancer back to the we're gonna send a card with Dancer back to the deck, activate our King Golem, so we're at 2800. He's gonna activate the effect anyways, but it doesn't boost his defense, and I'm able to get over it. Hit him for 16. Goes for the Drill Dart into Celestial. Attack, probably trying to activate a Mass Change, but because of King Golem, I can just activate my Pulse, destroy the Drill Dart, and hit him for 28. No need to make any additional plays right there. Once you have the field spell and their field is empty, there's literally nothing they can do. So we just take the win. And yeah, I'll definitely revisit this deck once I finish out the box. I need like 1000 more gems. I can probably grind those out once the season resets and I can get some more rewards. But I wanted to try out the deck, and it's really fun to use with Concentrating Current. I think even if I have the optimal build, I'll probably still leave 1 or 2 as techs, because it's just wins you games like nothing. That's gonna be it for me. Thank you so much for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe if you want. Join my Discord if you haven't. The link will be down in the description. Along with my PayPal link if you guys want to support my channel, support my content. I really appreciate that. And until next time.